The plains of Arafah are awash in a sea of humanity. The chants of Labbaik, Allahumma Labbaik fill the air. The faithful have come to fulfill one of Islam's 5 pillars, the Hajj. Assalamu alaikum and welcome to this Eid al-Adha special. Let's not waste any more time and look at exactly what this day is for Muslims globally.
Hajj, the holy pilgrimage. Every year, close to 2 million people undertake this journey to fulfill one of Islam's 5 pillars. It all takes place in the holy city of Makkah and starts with the circumambulation of Islam's holiest city, the Kaaba. Thereafter, the faithful trek to the tented city of Mina before gathering on the plains of Arafat. It is an incredible spectacle that lasts 5 days from start to finish.
I went on pilgrimage in Islamic year 1432, which was 2011. And it was, as everyone says, a life-changing experience. It's one of the greatest privileges or gifts that I believe Allah has blessed me with. And, having gone on pilgrimage and seen the ages of the other people that managed to come through for pilgrimage, it is one of, indeed, the biggest gift that I've been blessed with.
For some, the effect of Hajj is a profound experience that changes them from within and without.
Well, I met this team probably going on 10 years now. We were business colleagues. We met at an organization that we worked for many, many years. And we're currently business partners for an organization called Think South Africa, which is an innovations management consultancy firm. There's definitely been a major change for someone who knows her for such a long time after her pilgrimage. Before she left, she was very focused on developing individually, driving that corporate ladder. But I think since she came back, it's more about developing the Muslim community at large. I think Tasneem is a role model for the Muslim brothers and sisters because she's involved in many initiatives and projects that she's driving in the education space. So there's many youth programs that she's currently running, as well as development programs for your alimas and your alims.
Those who fulfill this journey are given a new lease on life and their past sins are forgiven. As one journey ends, so another begins. The true significance of Hajj is not only the time spent performing pilgrimage, but rather making use of the second chance it has been granted.
There were many things that I learned during my Hajj experience, but amongst them it was the complete renewal of your purpose. As Muslims, we understand, we know that we're born with a purpose. It's whispered in our ears at our birth. But for me, it was that sense of community. When you are making tawaf and you're surrounded by thousands of different nationalities, ages, race and creed, that you know that is the ultimate truth. The true Hajj begins when you get back home. So it's a constant reminder, constant challenge in terms of your obligations as a Muslim. So in every respect with regards to career, home, family, raising my child and legacies, Islamic legacies, it's reshaped the way I live my life.
Tasneem Mohammed was a young woman when she undertook this journey. Upon her return, she sought ways to positively pass on her experience and was given the opportunity on the Think South Africa project.
I'm an innovation management consultant for a South African association called Think SA. We're part of an international group called Think Global Innovation Management. And again, that was another blessing that unfolded after Hajj, where we were one of 300 licensees globally to have been awarded the South African license. The skills development workshops that we do within in madrasas and school systems is about unlocking innovation and creativity and new learning methodologies. The generations evolve over time as well as their learning styles. And I wanted to marry my professional skills with my Islamic purpose. And for me, it's about bringing that ability into the classroom, using innovation and creativity as a means to resonate with your new generation of learners.
As Muslims, it is our duty to fulfill the 5 pillars in our lifetime. Hajj being one of these pillars affords us the opportunity to make positive changes to our lives. Tasneem has grabbed this with both hands, but she by no means should be alone in this. The Talbiyah Labaik Allahumma Labaik, O Allah, hear me, I have come to answer your call, is not only one that should have meaning when performing Hajj. It should resonate through one's life forever after, through example, just like Tasneem is doing.
I've been told that the atmosphere on Arafat and during the days of Hajj is unmatchable, as young and old proclaim their faith in Allah and seek forgiveness. Maulana Philander has some questions from viewers wanting to know more about the day of Eid al-Adha.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. My name is Maulana Zakaria Philander. Welcome to Q&A on An Nur the Light. Our first question was emailed in and says, what is the Islamic law on carrying a weapon for self-protection? In Islam, there is actually no restriction on carrying a weapon for self-protection or for any reason. There is, though, a restriction on the pointing of a weapon. One is not allowed to take out a weapon, to point the weapon, to threaten anyone with a weapon, to terrorize anyone with a weapon with any undue reason. It should purely be for self-protection purposes, and only when really necessary should it be utilized. Otherwise, it is permissible to have a weapon. Our second question on Facebook asks, if you have completed the obligatory Hajj but feel the need to redo it, can this be done? It's important to understand that the Hajj in Islam is a compulsory, obligatory act that has to be done once in a lifetime for those who are able to do so. The operative phrase here for this answer is once in a lifetime. It is not required to redo it multiple times. If a person though feels that the person wants to and is able to do it again, there is absolutely no harm to perform another Hajj. Our final question comes from our Facebook page. Can Muslims and non-Muslims both pray their own prayers in the same room? As we know, Muslims have designated places of prayer which are known as masajid or mosques, and Christians and people of other faiths also have their temples, their churches, etc. But there's absolutely no harm when the need arises for Muslims and people of other faiths to pray in the same spaces. In fact, in previous times in Islam and even in modern times in Islam, we find often that churches give space to Muslims to pray and vice versa when the need arises. So there's absolutely no problem in doing this. That brings us to the end of this Q&A. Until next time, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Jazakallah Maulana for always availing your time so that we may find answers to the questions we seek. Eid al-Adha is also known as the Day of Sacrifice, and we got to learn more about this from the world of Muslim youth.
Every year, Muslims celebrate Eid al-Adha, which marks the end of the pilgrimage to Mecca. This sacrificial feast dates back to the story of Abraham and Isaac, in which God tested Abraham's faith by asking him to sacrifice his son, but giving him a lamb to sacrifice instead. With the sacrificial slaughter of a sheep as the basis of this celebration, one must be aware of how this ritual is done in accordance with Islam.
Eid al-Adha is a celebration of accomplishment. It's a celebration of sacrifice, which comes after the Hajj festival. Hajj is one of the 5 pillars of Islam. And the celebration itself is very symbolic because it's not an act, it's not a sunnah of our beloved Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, but it's a sunnah of the father of Anbiya. So this is a symbolic celebration of accomplishment of patience, accomplishment of obedience, and accomplishment of what goes through during the season of Hajj. So the meat that is slaughtered on that day is distributed to the needy communities.
The World Assembly of Muslim Youth aims to preserve the identity of young Muslims through education and upliftment. The organization runs classes that teach students about their special celebrations and their significance. Imam Abu Muhammad has been teaching slaughtering in accordance with Islam at the institution for many years.
The World Assembly of Muslim Youth, in short we call it WAMI, and we have different classes pertaining to different problems we are having in our society. So when Qurbani is near, we also have a Qurbani class where we teach our students on how to slaughter. In our case, because we slaughter a lot of animals, maybe 80, sometimes 140 in a day, the day of Qurbani. So we also need to have a lot of people who know how to slaughter if you need to finish in a day. So this is the opportunity we use for our students also to take part in this. The process, you have to have the bays, the slaughter bays ready, and you have to demarcate them so that the animals don't see what is happening to the other animals, and you have to bring it from behind so that it doesn't see the knife or the blood of other animals that have been slaughtered already. And after slaughtering, it depends on what knife you are using. If you're using a very sharp knife, you can slaughter once, but you go for the 2 jugular veins on the side of the animal. Then you have to let the animal cool before you start skinning it. You can't take it straight for skinning while it doesn't finished and completely dead.
Asadullah, a student at the WAMY, believes that it is important for young Muslims to carry on the teachings of Islam by learning and participating in rituals such as the slaughter at Eid al-Adha.
I've learned a lot since I've been a student here, how to slaughter, how and which type of sheep or goat or a cow you have to slaughter, all those type of things. You have to show mercy towards the animal before you slaughter it. We normally don't show the knife that, okay, it's going to be slaughtered or something, but you have to hide the knife. And the importance about Eid al-Adha to me is being a Muslim, we surrender to every command that Islam tells us to do. So when we say a Muslim, that means you are someone that you're submitting, to something, towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the Creator. So during Eid al-Adha, we fulfilling the sunnah of our father Ibrahim alayhi salam. So by doing the Udhiyah or Eid al-Adha, we follow the sunnah or the footsteps of our father Ibrahim alayhi salam.
Eid al-Adha has got a number of lessons that are very imperative to our young people today. One of them is obedience. Obedience is not a process of a season. It's a continuous process in the life of Muslims. There's an aspect of patience, sabr. Sabr is an attribute, a quality that every young person, every Muslim should inculcate and should practice upon. And there is another one of respect. So this forms for us, Eid al-Adha forms for us a process where we can engage of the lesson that was taught to us by Ibrahim and Ismail alayhi salatu wasalam. And they should become students that are known for qualities of Ismail alayhi salatu wasalam: obedience, respect, faithfulness, honesty, and God-fearing.
Whilst Eid al-Adha is a time of celebration, it is also a festival of sacrifice and obedience to the will of Allah. Al-Quran 22 verse 37 says, "Neither their flesh reaches Allah, nor their blood. It is your piety that reaches Him."
Bus tours are one of the quickest ways to see a city, and this, as well as other travel options, are up in our next segment. We're off to the beautiful Gauteng for great tips on what to do, see, and where to find a halal meal.
Bus tours are often one of the best ways to see a city, and Joburg's Red Bus City Tours are just the way to do it.
We are a red open tour bus. We operate, it's a franchise operating internationally, worldwide, over 120 countries, with South Africa being one of them. We offer different tours around the city. We've got about 11 stops, and to go through them, it takes you 2 hours if you're not getting off. But then you have an option of getting off, and then if you do, we're running every half an hour on each stop. So you are allowed to actually spend as much time as you want on that specific attraction. And then when you're done, you just check your time in the timetable, you hop on the next bus. And then again, we have the Soweto tour, which we connect at Gold Reef, which is our fourth stop. You're able to do it with a mini taxi, different from this one, but you still get that history behind the Soweto, the township area.
The open top is where some of the best views can be had, and it usually fills up quite fast. There are also a number of language options as visitors are taken on the tour.
Many people have this idea or notion about Johannesburg that it's a very dangerous place. But after you try it with our tour bus, I am guarantee you're gonna have a different view about Johannesburg because we are the most friendly people around the place.
If you'd like to swing around from tree to tree and get the adrenaline pumping, then this is a must-do. Just off the M1 highway in one of Johannesburg's beautiful green parks is a fun-filled adventure waiting to happen.
So we are at Aquapunch Marrows. We have set up obstacle courses in the trees where we've placed platforms in the trees and customers travel from one platform to another, either by a zip line or a Tarzan swing or a monkey bridge. And obviously there are different obstacles that bring different elements to it, which makes it very exciting for our customers. For here, we mainly take from 3-year-olds to, you can be as old as you can be. Our oldest customer to date was 76-year-old. She had a birthday party here, had a ball. But obviously because we accommodate such a wide range of age, we basically have different courses designed for different age groups. So we have easy ones, we have medium to hard, and then we have very difficult ones. So even if you don't go to the gym and you spend your day behind the desk all the time, you can still come through. There will be something for you to do.
Here you can unleash the Tarzan in you as you swing from tree to tree under the watchful eye of trained specialists. No need to fear as they make sure you are securely strapped.
So safety is a really big concern for us as well, because then since the activity is all up in the trees, we have to make sure that people are safe. So before our customers go up, we harness them up, and then they receive a mandatory training and briefing, which they do every single time, even if they were here yesterday, because we have to be sure. And then after that, we have guys supervising to make sure that they have understood the rules. And once we are satisfied that they have an understanding of how this works, then we can set them up on the courses. And even when they're on the courses, they're still supervised. They're watched at all times to make sure that nothing happens.
Take it one step at a time as you navigate your way through the many obstacle courses on offer. There's no need to spend another weekend in a mall when this is right on your doorstep. Climb higher than you've ever gone and push yourself to reach new heights.
It challenges you as a person. People are scared of heights, but then here you have the opportunity to be at a height that you're uncomfortable with at first. But because you know that you're safe, nothing's going to happen to you. Often you get people who, at the beginning, they were scared, and at the end, they feel proud of themselves. They have that sense of achievement that they've actually done something, which is what you also get from the different obstacles. It's like any challenge that you made in life. Together, you look at it and you say, no, I can't do this, but then with the right approach, you get across and then you realize it's not as bad as it looks.
The suburb of Greenside has seen an influx of Muslims making their homes here, and with that comes halal places to eat. Freshly baked cookies and rolls are just some of the staple items available, and the new kid on the block is definitely making a name for itself.
Industry Bakery is different than other bakeries, and it's different because it was created initially to cater for the Muslim community that's currently growing in Aberdeenshire and in Greenside. And we decided to create it because we wanted something different, not just the usual bakery, the cliched look, cliched products, that kind of thing. So what we did was we incorporated a restaurant as well. And we created the space so that it resembles the industrial look. To be honest, Industry Bakery is actually just my favorite place. I work here on weekends, I absolutely love it. It's vibrant, it's cool, it's social.
Coffee can make or break any place, and this has been taken into account with professional trained baristas on hand to pour you that perfect cup of coffee. Their specialty breakfasts are also making quite a name for itself.
Our specialty breakfast, I would say, is the full South African breakfast because it has sausages, it has baked beans, it has eggs, mushrooms. So it's a lot for a single person, but for those big eaters, people who, are looking to bulk up, we have a lot of students who come in and are all about gains. It's quite lovely, as well as it has that homely vibe to it, I would think. I mean, if you think about weekends, you want your fried eggs, you want your sausages, and that's what we offer.
This place has become extremely popular, with locals who pop in for their morning fix or catch-ups with friends and family. Weekends are especially busy, so arrive early to avoid disappointment and don't leave without stocking up on the weekly supply of yummy biscuits.
Come to think of it, I've never been on one of those bus tours. It looks quite informative and so much fun. We've reached the end of this week's episode and we'll be playing out with a beautiful nasheed by Malaysian artist La Ahmed. I'd like to wish you an Eid Mubarak for my brothers and sisters around the world and Hajj Maqbool to the Hujjaj as they complete their pilgrimage. From me, Maria Mokwanda, Salang Hantle, Assalamu alaikum.
Ampun aku, ya Allah, kerana telah jauh darimu. Himpun aku, ya Allah, bersama yang dikasih olehmu. Namun ku tak upaya berada di dalam nerakamu. Namun ku tak upaya untuk syurga Firdausmu. Penghujung yang pasti menunggu. Akhirkan aku dengan beriman padamu. Ya Allah, ya Allah, ya Allah, ya Allah, ya Allah, istajib doana. Ya Allah, ya Allah, ya Allah, ya Allah, ya Allah, istajib doana. Bantu aku, ya Allah, permudahkan setiap langkahku. Bimbinglah aku, ku tak mampu berdiri dan bernafas tanpamu. Cinta hanya untukmu, cinta hanya milikmu. Ku ingin dan ku memohon